Hello, good morning, everyone. Hi, Laura.
Can you hear me okay? How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Are you driving or are you a passenger?
I'm a passenger.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Yay. Hi, Judy Cain.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Judy.
Hi.
Laura's in transit to Tallahassee.
Ah,
Isn't that exciting?
yeah, for a weekend or a day trip?
Just overnight, we're looking at FSU with my daughter.
Oh, fun. I love
Yeah.
college trips. Yay.
So that's what we're doing. We got up early. So we've
Yeah.
been on the road for a couple hours.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
It's a long drive.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Are you going up 19?
What road are we on right now? 90? 98?
98.
I don't know. GPS took us a roundabout way.
Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning, Jill and Judy
Hi.
and Laura.
Hi.
Good to see you, Margaret. Glad you're back.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yay. That's awesome.
Even though I was having fun part of the time I was gone.
Yeah, well, that's good too. We want you to have fun. Vacations are fun.
They are. They are.
We're gonna. It's just a little early yet, so we're gonna make sure we give everybody time to come today to our mastermind. As you're coming in, I'm putting your name on a little piece of paper and throwing it in a hat.
Okay.
Little jumble. This is my dad's hat. My dad passed away. 2 years ago, but I have his hat, and so it's a lucky hat.
Good.
Lots of good blessings in that hat.
That's a good thing, I tell you. You know, I was just thinking the other day, my mother died many, many years ago when I was in my 20s, and I thought, geez, I have a bracelet that was my grandmother's that I put on occasionally. And I thought, I wish I had some piece of jewelry or something like that
from
for
your
my mother,
mom.
but, you know, I don't, so I got to go figure out something that's, you know, I sort of treasure about something I did or something, and so I can get into that mother spirit.
Wow, that's really sweet. Yeah, I hope you find something. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Thank you.
Good morning, Debbie.
I'm down a quart of coffee, so I know I'm heading over to get mine. Oh, I love your mug.
Isn't that cool?
So fun.
I got it at Yellowstone, 20 years ago plus, and it's my Friday morning moose jive.
Oh, there you go. There you
Gotta get the moose jive.
Yeah, it's Friday, and we need to do the moose jive.
As we are getting ready, thank you, Debbie, for starting us off. Make sure you are going into the chat box and typing your name and email address for attendance. I see Hannah's joined us and Mary Beth. Welcome, ladies. Good to see you. I'm putting your names in hats so we can, in a hat, I should say, so we can pull for our mastermind. Debbie's getting some coffee. Laura's traveling to Florida State University today to visit with her daughter, whose daughter's driving the car. See that now. This is how Laura and I are different. If my child was driving to Tallahassee, I could never focus on a networking meeting because I would
Actually, her dad's driving. No, actually, her dad's driving. She's okay.
She's got
The
to love you for
teenager.
that.
Okay.
She was driving.
So she was up all night.
Oh.
She was up all night long. So she's So that's what we're dealing with back there.
That's funny. That's a good. Well, Tish is here. Good morning, Tish.
Hello.
Laura, that's real commitment right there.
Yeah.
Doing this from the car. I'm just going to throw that out there.
That is commitment. She's here in case we have any social media questions. I was like, Laura, are you available? Let's just give everybody just one more minute. Make sure I'm waiting for Connie Joe, and I think she'll be here. She's just probably getting her coffee as well. And anybody else? Let's all give hats off to Tish Hicks because Tish is in LA, which means it's 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
He is here
Yeah,
today.
I thought so. I'm like, wow, Tish.
Yeah. So hats off. You don't have to put your camera on, Tish, if it's too early. But that is dedication to networking right there. There you go. There she. Yeah, she's like, we'll put my my pretty picture up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Much better. We'll watch the sunrise together.
Yeah, there we go. So just another reminder, make sure you put your name and email address in the chat box. That's how we do attendance here. And we'll go ahead and get started with our meeting. And it looks like Mary Beth has to share a chair with one of the kitties. I can't see which one that is. Is that Max?
No, it's Bunny.
Oh, it's Bunny. I couldn't see the tail. There is the tail. Well, Bunny can do an elevator speech if Bunny wants.
It'll be like, ow.
You never know who's going to come to virtual networking. I love it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started, ladies. And thank you all for being here and all sorts of dedication to networking today. I'm so excited to see everybody. We are going to get started first with elevator speeches, and then we'll move into the mastermind. And we're going to have some fun today and brainstorm and figure out some solutions to all of our marketing and business questions. So we'll get started with elevator speeches, and I'm just going to call on you based on the order that appears on my screen. Hi, Connie Jo. Glad you're here. Sorry I didn't see you slip in. So the first person up is Tish. Tish, are you ready? She might have slipped away. Get some coffee. We'll come back to her. How about Judy Cain?
Okay. So I'm Judy Cain, and my business is called Aligned Consciousness. I help people rewrite subconscious, self-limiting beliefs using a process called Psych-K. People come to me usually for 3 general categories, either the big emotions like trauma, grief, phobias, or for goals they're not being able to hit for whatever reason, self-sabotaging behavior, or, just the universe seems to be working against you. Or physical symptoms of stress, which can manifest in so many different ways. So Judy Cain, Aligned Consciousness.
We are glad you're here. And tell everybody where you live. Sorry, I've got to prompt you on that.
Tampa area of Florida.
Oh, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Mary Beth and Bunny. You're next.
Okay, Mary Beth Decker, sacredgrove.com. I'm an intuitive animal healer. Debbie and I have been practicing ways to say, and I have the ability to tune into WPET 24/7 and let you have a two-way conversation with your animals about issues that are, you can thank Debbie for that. Behavioral, emotional, physical issues, end of life. Thank you.
Oh, we're glad you're here. Thank you for being here today. Margaret, you're next.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm Margaret Martin, and I live in Dunedin, Florida, which is one of the best towns in the world to live in and visit. So, and that's in the Tampa Bay area, and Judy Cain lives here too. But I am a coach. I am an author. I am a speaker, and I help people transform their mindset so that they can transform their lives, change their mindset to transform their lives. And I do that through coaching. I am a life design coach. I am, for 25 years, I'm a career coach for 11 years. I also do some trauma healing coaching, which I've been doing for about a year and a half. And I also speak on the Chatter That Matters. Your words are your power, and which is the book I authored a few years ago. So you can find me at margaretmartin.com. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Margaret visited us a few weeks ago, and then she enjoyed some vacation time. So I'm so glad that you are back, Margaret. Thank you for joining us. Laura Shipman, are you able to do an elevator speech?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay, hey everybody, my name's Laura Shipman. I'm from the Tampa Bay area, and I'm the founder of Keep It Local, and I'm also an owner of a social media agency where I help you manage your social media, train you on social media, and anything related to social media. So I'm glad to be here today, and happy to help in any way I can.
Thank you, Laura. And Laura lives in the Tampa Bay area, and she's in transit to Tallahassee, Florida. That's why she's in the car. So thank you for joining us, Laura. Debbie Keevan.
I think I'd be better prepared. Good morning, everyone. I'm Debbie Keevan of DeborahKeevan.com. I'm a writer, editor, and storyteller who helps visionary entrepreneurs tell their stories of truth and healing so they can attract their ideal clients. And I do this with their blogs, their web copy, and I also help them write their books and publish them.
Yay. And where do you live?
I'm in Baltimore.
Baltimore area. Awesome. Tish, are you ready to do an elevator speech?
Yes. Yes, I am. No, I'm on my computer. Hi, I'm Tish Hicks. I am in Burbank, California. I am the owner and master sensei of the VO Dojo, which is a voiceover training center that is designed to take you from I don't know to working pro. I think that's good. That's good.
You're good. We're glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. Let's see who else do I have. Hannah Broter.
Hello, everyone. I am Hanne Broter from yourbrandvision.com. I am Norwegian, but I live in Sweden, which is terribly hot this year. And I'm a graphic designer and visual brand manager. I help passion and purpose-driven entrepreneurs and business owners make their businesses look as good as they know they are, so they can attract their ideal clients and take their businesses to the next level.
We are glad you're here, and we're sorry that you're hot.
We are not used to this kind of temperature here.
She emailed me, said my Viking blood is boiling or something like that. Oh, we're glad you're here nonetheless. Good morning, Connie Jo. You're next.
Hello, I'm Connie Jo Miller of Enigma Bookkeeping Solutions, and I do bookkeeping and financial coaching. And I work with you to make sure that your books are tax and audit ready. And I also help you identify ways in your business for you to save money so that you increase your bottom line.
Yay, we like saving money and increasing bottom lines. Thank you, Connie Jo, for being here. And there's Atlanta area, a little north.
Yes, Atlanta.
And it leaves me, I'm Jill Celeste, living also near the Tampa Bay area and also very hot, but I guess I'm supposed to be. I live in Florida. I'm a marketing coach and the founder of the Celestial Circle. We gather in the Celestial Circle to support each other, love each other, lift each other, and learn some marketing on the side, it feels like, but we are an energetic group, and I just want to say thank you to Laura Shipman, who was our guest expert in the Celestial Circle. And we are all Instagram pros now, thanks to Laura. Everybody's giving her thumbs up. So just want to give a shout out to Laura while she's here. So thank you for doing that, Laura. And thank you all for being here. Yay! So let me just make sure I have everybody in the hat. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pull a name from the hat. Yep. And basically what you do, if I pull your name, is you get to ask the group a question. Oh, wait, we have somebody here who joined us. Hi, Rob.
Hello there.
How are you?
How are you today?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Will you? I know you just got here, but would you mind doing an elevator speech for us while you're on?
Oh, wow. Sure. So my name is Rob Howes, and I create inspiring music and videos that empower people to live healthier, more prosperous lives. That's my speech, and I'm sticking to it.
And where do you live?
So I live in Maryland right now, in between D.C. and Baltimore.
Awesome. Well, you're not the only Maryland, almost D.C. person here. How about that?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Twos of you. Threes of you. I
Hey.
forgot. Yeah. Everybody wave if you're from D.C. area. There you go.
I could throw a rock at the White House, but I wouldn't.
Oh, please don't.
I'm not going to do that. Right. That's how close I am, though.
That's awesome. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And thanks for being the only guy.
Yeah, it's like that sometimes.
Well, we are glad you're here. So as I was just saying, Yes, Tish, I got your name in here. Don't worry. We're doing a business mastermind today. So how this works is I have everybody's name in a hat, and I'll pull the name out, and I'll say, blah, blah, blah. It's time for your question. And you're going to ask one question, and all of us are going to help you solve that question. And the question can be marketing related, social media related, business operations related. We all have different expertises here on this call, which is very, very cool. And so we will answer your question as best we can. We'll do it. And then when you're done, I'll pull the next name out. We will do that till 8:50 a.m. Eastern, whatever that is for you all in different time zones. And then we'll move on to the announcement portion of virtual networking. So let's see who wants to go first by lucky draw. The lucky person is Debbie Cain. Debbie,
but I have so many questions. Oh no, this is the anti-manifestation. So thank you. I am having some mindset challenges, not business related, but sort of. As some of you know, I'm hiking part of the Camino de Santiago de Compostela, and I leave in just over 5 weeks. And when I did the training last time, man, I was out there every day and hiking, and it was winter, so it was much better for me. But it is just nasty here, like rain, and then mosquito, and humid. So I'm really struggling with my mindset, and I think it's spilling over into everything else. So what are your suggestions for getting my ass out the door every day and hitting the trail, because I want to be fit? So mindset.
Well, we have mindset experts here. Who would like to go and offer some advice? Go ahead, Judy. And then Judy, then Rob.
Okay, so other than, I'd be glad to see if there's a balance or two just to get you going. But for things that you can do by yourself, what I would suggest would be block off a little bit of time and do some really intense visualization. Like 3 pictures where you've got all the details that you can possibly think of you out there and it working, and it's either the practice or maybe it's actually on the trail, and how you could, how that looks because you did get out there and do your work. Then think about what it's going to sound like. What are you going to hear people saying about you? What are you going to say about yourself once you're out there and doing this stuff? And then what's the main emotion you're going to be feeling? And get some real clarity around how that feels in your body. Where's the emotion? What color is it? What shape is it? That type of thing. Get some real clear kinesthetic cues off of the emotion.
Okay, that's great. I did follow a bunch of people, Laura, on Instagram who are walking the Camino. So I see their pictures and I'm like, it gets me super excited. So that may help with what you're suggesting, Judy. Thank you.
Awesome. Rob, go ahead.
Absolutely. That's a great question. You can see that's my post on my wall that I have above my head every day. No, you can see. I'll tell you what it says though, because the mind is very powerful, but it starts with a thought. And the way I got out of depression and got out of my own mind is when I really started studying the power of thought. And so if you think about thought is like a seed. And the moment you have a thought and you give it attention and energy, it becomes a mood. So you start to feel slightly a certain kind of way. And if you keep that mood long enough, it then becomes a temperament, which is like a temporary personality trait. And if you sustain that long enough, it becomes your personality trait. Your personality creates your personal reality. So anytime you don't really like the world you're living in, you think about the thoughts you're letting in. So I just started thinking about what I'm thinking about. So what I would say is, what worked for me is I began to literally take every thought captive. So I'm feeling a certain way, I go back and re-engineer and figure out, okay, what is that thought? Okay, yeah, I did crash my car. So now I'm thinking about my insurance is going to get elapsed. And then I'm going to have to spend more money. Where's that money going to come from? And it's a trail of those thoughts. So I go back to that thought. I crashed my car. What can I do about it? And I immediately move into what's the next best step. So it's taking every thought captive and then immediately thinking, what is the very next best step? Not the next two, just the first one.
Okay.
That helped me a lot.
That's brilliant. Thank you. I love the temperament becomes your personality, becomes your personal reality. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's a quotable. Absolutely.
Woo. All
Margaret,
right.
go ahead.
Well, I'll say ditto to all that's been said before because they're all good things, and I really agree with Judy in the fact that for me, sometimes to just get out the door and walk in the neighborhood in these hot, humid mornings, I can appreciate that. So one of the things that helps me is I lay my clothes out where I see them first thing when I get up, so that I don't have any excuse about that. And really plan and reframe my day to be able, not my day, but my morning to be able to include that. So I did that the other day, and I walked out the house to go. I hadn't checked the weather, and it was raining. And I thought, oh, well, I really don't want to walk in the rain because I just had my hair done. So anyway, I came back in and I said, I'll do yoga this morning. So I flipped on my Apple TV, found yoga, and did yoga that morning. But that visualization of seeing yourself, even as you are walking out there, and the joy of the experience, the feelings and the joy, that's one, and I'm getting angel bumps when I'm saying that. So
thank you.
You would have hit right there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Laura put a suggestion in the chat box for you too.
A book, my favorite.
What is it? Which one? I couldn't.
The 5-Second Rule by Mel.
Oh, Mel, yeah.
Okay. I will check that out. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'll report back next week and let you know how I did.
Yeah. I can't wait. Tish, did you have something to add?
Oh, I had one thought too.
Go ahead.
This came through to me in a meditation yesterday morning, but I've been like meaning to work out and meaning to get on weight loss and stuff for months and months, and something just clicked this week, and I've gone every day to the place that I said I've been able to go. But the image that came to me was making a visual chain of doing something every day. And I was actually going to do this today. But you know how you make Christmas tree chains out of paper?
Yeah.
It was another mastermind I met yesterday, and how 28 days make a difference in habit.
Right.
So, like setting a goal, either how many days it is to the hike, or just 28 days, but each day to make a strip, to have like a pile of your goal in strips somewhere, and then visually each day just make a chain, and then each day that you do it, your chain will get bigger. And each day you don't do it, your chain will be very short. And then you can just, and I don't know, the idea of making like a Christmas chain seemed kind of happy. And then just really visually like, oh, I see why I'm not getting anywhere, because I didn't do anything, because I'm not taking every step every day. And it's not like, oh, I didn't do that.
Right.
Oh, it's just like, oh, look, I'm not getting where I'm going to go because I'm not getting any further because, oh, I'm not doing it every day.
I love
it. And then
that.
I think something probably visual, like really satisfying. Like, look, I've got my whole chain.
I think I can do that and combine it with Judy and Margaret and Rob's, where I add how I feel and visualize that day.
You could even put it on the little strip.
Yeah, that's what I mean, on the strip, and then it's sort of
flip it over. How did I feel? That's cool.
Awesome.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Mary Beth's got something too. Go ahead, Mary Beth.
Yeah, I was thinking of this too, Debbie. So this is a little different. I think it's because of my Navy background, but I brought in the drill instructor a few times. And it's like, look, you're a woman who keeps her word. Are you a woman who keeps her word? Yes, I'm a woman who keeps her word. Then why aren't you doing it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, to get out there and do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's just
Better be tougher on me, Mary Beth.
reminding us who we are. We're people who keep our word.
Right.
And sometimes we just slack off, but we're really, all right. So that's my.
I love it.
I just picture
I've never had a drill instructor.
Well, just watch Full Metal Jacket. That's what I said. Just picture that guy in Full Metal Jacket.
One other thing I would suggest,
Yeah.
Debbie,
Go ahead, Margaret.
one is to have an accountability partner. Somebody, and if you want, I'll be happy to be your accountability partner, whether you either email me or text me every day that you've done it. So
Thank you. Thank you. I need it. Yeah, just for this, I need a different, because I have an accountability partner for business that I talk to 7 days a week. So,
Love it. Yeah, and people are still putting things in the chat box for you, Debbie.
yeah, I'm seeing.
So.
Okay.
I think also there's something about keeping. I'm a person who keeps my word, and I think often we keep our words to other people, but somehow keeping our word to ourselves is like, like if you think of it like not letting yourself down, like you wouldn't let someone else down or a client down. That could be an interesting subheading too.
Yeah.
You don't want to let Heather down, Debbie.
I don't want, yeah, no, I feel like I don't want to let myself down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and there's some fear there for sure. Yeah.
Go ahead, Judy Cain.
So definitely with the fear, if you want to set up a time, like 15 minutes virtual, we could maybe work with that emotion. But what I was going to say is I go to a yoga class, and this particular teacher, always at the end where you're doing namaste, the first thing she says is to thank yourself for giving yourself the time to do this for yourself.
Right.
So every time you get out there, celebrate, be proud of yourself. It's like, we never say the good things to ourselves.
Yeah.
All right. I'll contact you, Judy, but thank you. That's true.
Sure.
That's very true.
Yeah.
All right.
Good mindset tips for all of us. Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you, everybody. Debbie, keep us posted.
I will definitely do that. You're all my accountability buddies.
Yeah, we're going to check with you next week and see how, do you have an intention? Do you have you may not have it right now, but do you have an intention?
Yeah, my intention is to walk 5 miles every day and then at this point, I need to be doing back-to-back hikes on the weekend. So I won't be doing that this weekend because I'm on a publishing panel and I have guests coming. But next weekend, 2 back-to-back, 10 miles minimum each day.
All right. So next Friday, we're going to say, you're ready to go tomorrow, right? We'll do that for you. How's that feel? Okay, everybody help me remember that. Okay, next up, is Judy Cain.
Okay, so I was thinking about this yesterday to get ready for this because I don't have any technical kind of a question exactly, but it's I have been trying to get ready to set up a drip campaign for months. I've got somebody I work with. I've got my first free giveaway that all it needs to do is be formatted. I mean, it's all there, ready to go. I know how to change my beliefs to get going on it, but my logical mind just doesn't see why this is a good thing for my business. It's like logically it doesn't make sense for my business for me to be sending these things out, and until I can connect the dots logically, I know I'm not going to get it done.
No, that's a real thing. Absolutely. Go ahead, Debbie.
Oh, I'm still unmuted. Sorry about that. So what is your goal with the drip campaign?
Well, it's to stay, apparently, because this is advice I'm getting. It's not something I am, I understand how they work. I understand why they work for many businesses. This is to stay in front of people's consciousness so that they remember I'm here, so that they would think about using me, whenever they need something like K.
So if you weren't comfortable doing a drip campaign, so drip campaigns can be a number of different things. So you can have a drip campaign that's geared to a specific outcome, like you want people to get on the phone with you, or you've got a webinar coming up, or one of you're driving people to something. An alternative might be, if you're wanting to stay in front of people, is you could think about a different way that you would be more comfortable with and see the value. So that's why I asked about the goal. If it's really to stay in front of people, you could do a newsletter. You could do snail mail.
Yeah, I'm
You
not gonna
could do postcards. You could do, you could even do your blog posts that get then sent out every week. Like, but it's really, if it's to stay in touch, you really do, because if you think about your inbox, you want to be sending something that is going to be valuable to people, not just asking for something.
Right, and that's the thing, and I definitely wouldn't blog weekly. If I did it, it would be monthly. With my business, like I don't give stories of people I see, because it's, they're clients and they might not appreciate their stories being out there of things that I help them with. I stay in front of people a lot with networking. I mean, that's a comfortable way for me to remind people what I do. It's face to face. I can tell who's interested, and I can set up the one-on-ones separately. That type of thing I'm comfortable with. But I struggle with, I guess it's, what can I send out that would even be interesting? I get really annoyed when I get too much from any one person, and I've got a really low threshold for that.
So you're thinking about what you need. I want you to think about what your clients need. What keeps them up at night, and how can you help them? Because you're probably one of the best kept secrets, because people just don't know. And so I'm going to challenge you a little bit about the stories. Like, you don't have to share specifics about anybody, but you can say, I once had a client who struggled with, keeping her word to herself. And here's how that was manifesting. And you can even take multiple clients and kind of mash them into one.
Yeah.
You don't have to, where it's not, there's no identifying features. But those stories, especially for your business, help people see how you can help them. It gives them an example.
Yeah, because there are a lot of times people go, oh yeah, you do that.
Right.
Margaret had something to add. Go ahead, Margaret.
Yeah. Thank you. I thank you, Debbie. That was what I was going to bring up, is Judy, the stories. As a coach, I've worked with a lot of people, for 25 years, and I use their stories, but I changed the names to protect, actually never share a name. I just say, here's an example of something that happened and how this person was able to transform or make that adjustment. And I think that's so valuable in the work you do. And one of the other things you might think about is creating some videos that tell that story. And let me just say this about that. Get over it.
I know.
Just get over it. I've looked at mine and I hear my twang and I hear all of this, and I thought, you know what? It's not about me. It's if I can give one person some hope with a simple video, or you're good on social media, it's taking that. And I do Mindful Monday. So for whatever Mindful Monday is, a thought for the week, and I go back and try to reinforce it during the week. And so, that's one of the, I think a good drip campaign is figure out something, whether it's Motivational Monday, Thoughtful Tuesday, or something like that you can create that people will depend on seeing from you every week.
I love that. It's like Jill's permission slips.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Every Monday you get a permission slip in the Celestial Circle. Absolutely. I want to add just one quick thing, Judy. I feel like you're projecting your own likes and dislikes into this process, and you're not the only one who does that. I look so lovingly at Connie Jo because she does this too. and that's something you have to work through. I mean, that's your own thing. But here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to be contrary, and I am not contradicting the advice you're receiving from your coach. But at the end of the day, if you're not feeling a marketing tactic, please don't implement it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, because it has to feel authentic or it won't work. You'll be wasting your time. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but I don't want to contradict who you're working with. I say that just lovingly. Okay. Mary Beth, you had something. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got a couple things. So, because I struggle the same way, and Judy, my stories are what get people to me. So I have asked for testimonials, and I got a page on that has testimonials. I've been to your website. I don't remember. I'm sorry. But, I mean, if you change names and stuff, you're still ethical, you know. The other thing, I thought about how many emails people are sending me, and then I thought about what makes me act. And the truth is, I see it the first time, I go, I see it the second time, I go, see it the third or fourth time, and now I'm starting to connect and starting to move. I don't think I'm different, especially if somebody has piqued my interest. I need more than one reminder. I need to get the connection that the like, trust, what it is, no like and trust factor. So that's what I tell myself when I start sending out. I know how I act. Like, you know, I'm creeping towards people.
Well, you know, I have to say, from a testimony, like Tish Hicks was on my list for years, and then this year she waved her hand around, and we were working together. And she said, when we were doing the sales process, she says, "It's your tenacity in email and showing up in my inbox all these years that had brought me to you." And I just share that as that's what it's supposed to do. And I'm glad, because I get to work with Tish, and now she's here with us. So it's like all those connections worked out. So just a share on the side for that as well. Any other thoughts, Judy? Anything you want to add as you're hearing this advice?
No, I appreciate all of it. It's, you know, it's given me something to think about.
Go ahead, Tish. Something you want to add?
I was going to share that same story about Jill's stuff, and a couple things come to my mind. If your resistance is you don't like getting too much emails, what do you like? Like that, like to recognize what do you like, and then I think also it's interesting to keep in mind that sometimes it's just not the right timing. You know, like, and then there was something about, you know, like with Jill, I was in a previous relationship with another coach, but, you know, then I was in between coaches, and this seemed like exactly the right thing. Like just a little, I don't need a giant program. I just need a little thing, little bit. And this seemed, you know, so it's also like, being right there when the timing's right for somebody. And the third thing is, what if instead of an intrusion, you think of it like, what can I give? Like, how can I give? Like, do you know that feeling of when you just give somebody a little gift? Like, oh, here's just a little muffin or something like that. And it makes such a difference on both sides. Like, oh, thank.
Yeah. Oh, we lost Tish there.
Am I back? Back?
You're back.
Okay. But like, I think there's even something in the name, like a drip campaign. Like, I'm going to drip on your head until you buy something from me. It sounds really like horrible.
That's why I call it a nurture campaign.
Yeah. I like that. Much better. Yeah.
Terminology. You know, I was coaching a group of authors, and then one girl goes, "I don't call it marketing. I call it joyful sharing." I'm like, whatever works for you. If that makes you feel better about the process, then change it. Yeah.
That does feel better.
Nurture, maybe, Judy, instead of drip.
Thank you all. Yeah, very helpful.
Good.
I bidding.
All right, I'm going to pull the next name out. Who's going to get the lucky name? It's Margaret. Margaret, what's your question for us today?
Oh, I have several, but in the meantime, so I'm planning this webinar in September and I've got everything sort of laid out, except this marketing piece, as well as determining when it started, it was going to be either Tuesday, every Tuesday, 4 weeks, or Thursday. And then all of a sudden I get into this, so I'd like some feedback. The Tuesday is the day after Labor Day. And for many people, that's back to school time, all of this kind of thing. And I'm thinking people may not have time to do that. So I'd like some feedback on this drip campaign to do as well, what that might look like to get people inspired to want to join the webinar, and whether a Thursday makes more sense than a Tuesday after Labor Day.
Well, in Florida, the school kids are already back
Right.
for weeks. So, but it's, if you're attracting anybody in the Northeast, that definitely is a concern.
And Margaret, can you remind me what your business is and what your target audience is?
Oh, yes. So my target audience is basically women 45 to 65. And the book, it's based on my book, The Chatter That Matters. So in one session, we're going to be transforming the negative mind chatter that we have, our negative self-talk. Then we're going to look at conversations that we have. We get into conversational habits, and I want to help people take a step back, look at the conversational habits they're having and how to change those. And then another session is setting boundaries. And those are the 3 key components of what the webinar is going to be about.
Laura, do you have any social media advice for that with the Tuesday, Thursday? I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah, I froze for a little bit, but I tend to always see that when it's a short week, those aren't always the best weeks to do it because people are trying to cram in whatever day they missed, whether it be a Monday or a Friday. And so my advice is always to postpone maybe a week after if you can do that. But if you can't postpone, then I would go for the Thursday because you're going to be having people who are going to cram a Monday and Tuesday together. In your marketing efforts online from the digital perspective just may not be as impactful. Does that make sense?
It does. And so my follow-up question is, my goal was to keep it all within 1 month. So it was all Tuesdays in September or Thursdays in September. So is it, I guess it's no negative problem if it goes into October.
Right.
You know, and I think from that, because I sometimes think like that, I like to put things in buckets or boxes like that. And it makes sense in my little mind, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, because if you're offering somebody a 4-week session or a 5-week session, that's all they care about. I don't think they really care about what month it falls in.
Good. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this, how far, I'm thinking of starting my marketing, this next week, and how frequently should I do that? Once or twice a week? How should I do that?
So is this a paid course that they're taking?
Yes.
So what's the price point?
$97.
Okay, so it's a low price point. And how long is each session?
An hour.
Hour, okay. And Jill will tell you, I think, I don't think you have to do marketing super far in advance, but what you could start to do is seed things now. So you could talk about some of the topics that you're going to be talking about, just to get people sort of thinking about it, asking questions, doing maybe a Facebook Live or a video. You could start nurturing people, and maybe even make a list of people you'd love to personally invite to the course. Mm-hmm. So is there a limit to how many people can be in the course? Do you have a number in your mind?
I have a number of 20 in my mind. It could go bigger, which would be, but my thought is people may feel more comfortable sharing some of their stories, and creating a safe space for them to do that. Of course, you can only ask for the safe space; you can't guarantee it. But right. I think that that's helpful when we do that. So anyway, so this is going to be the first time I'm doing this. So it's a little exciting and a little nerve-wracking all at the same time.
Good for you for stepping out of your comfort zone.
Well, I've done webinars or some other programs before, right. But it's been a long time since I've done one, and never one on my book. So
Oh, that's
I
exciting.
love it. Well, and
Congratulations.
so I would actually encourage you to consider what you even just said, like maybe make a video about how will it work, and how do people in the group share with each other, and then the safe space, and so think about what might stop somebody from saying yes, and then engineer. So it's like really two things. There's what are they struggling with that you're covering in your course that you can highlight, and then also what would stop them from saying yes.
Great, thank you.
Does that help, Margaret?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate
good.
that.
You're welcome. Those are good questions. Well, I went to grab it and this name popped out, so I'm going to go with it. Rob. There must have been a reason you were a jumper here, Rob. So what's your burning question?
Oh, wow. So I'm not really prepared for
Of course, that's okay.
best question. But let me just throw one out. This is something that I'm currently working on. So I've been in marketing for very long time, since before social media existed.
Me too. But we're young. I'm only 24.
And my goal with everything that I do is to reach as many people as possible, because as someone said, I think it was you, that you never know who you might impact one person. And so my goal is to reach more than one, but through video, which is the most powerful component right now on the planet to reach people, the most engaging process. Somebody, I think it was Judy, said, I don't want to do videos. I know. But it's the greatest thing you could ever do. Even greater than sliced bread. So what I'm focusing on now is how do I get my LinkedIn videos to have the most engagement?
Well, we just happen to have Laura Shipman here, who I think might be able to answer that question. Laura, do you have any wisdom?
So for LinkedIn specifically, or just overall in video?
So narrow down to LinkedIn specifically, and I'm sure there's some LinkedIn, protocol that, transcends across other platforms, but more so LinkedIn.
Yeah, and I'm thinking a lot of times I think shorter is better with these videos, because you want to get people to, and this is going to be true across all platforms, if you can get your total watch time in, meaning that somebody's going to watch that video from beginning to end, the algorithm is going to reward you for that. And so you want to be concise in those videos and not to let them drag on, because people, we have the attention span of a mosquito, and you want to keep them engaged for as long as possible. So you want to go ahead and deliver that content right away. You want to deliver the value right away, and then make sure that call to action is there. And I think you can do that on any platform and really work with it and make it work for you. Does that help?
Absolutely. And because that's good data. Just knowing that total watch time is king. Having that as a concept that changes how you do the production.
It does, and I think that people get caught up in all the details that they want to share, and they forget about the user or the consumer on the other end. Mm-hmm. And it's that total watch time that you want to do, and then that also leaves them wanting more, so you can follow up with the second video and a third video and have a see as a fan. And the conversation we are having, it's kind of like a drip campaign for video in a certain platform like LinkedIn or Facebook.
That's good. Almost like relationships.
Does that make sense?
Almost like getting in relationships. If somebody's all into you and just calling you every single day, you might get sick of them. But if they just call you once, just give you a little bit, then you're more intrigued and you want to go back and find out more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's good.
Cool.
Yeah. Go ahead, Margaret.
So Rob, what's your goal with this video for LinkedIn?
Yeah, honestly, really viewership. I might have a call to action in the comments, but I just want to get eyeballs. 'Cause I'm going for awareness first. Awareness. Once you get awareness, then you get interest. Then from interest, you can go to call to action. So my thing right now is just heightening the awareness.
Okay, but why should I watch your video? What's it going to be about?
So depending on what the video is, most likely it has something to do with holistic health, whether it's mindset, whether it's some physicality, or whether it's spiritual, something to empower you and inspire you in one of those areas, if not all three.
Because on LinkedIn, I've been on LinkedIn for a long time and help people with their LinkedIn profiles too. And so one of the things that I find is I want to know what's in it for me.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going to improve my business more than my personal life? And so that's why I'm looking at asking you, what's your goal with this? And what are you doing for me when I watch it?
Got you.
I mean, that's what we're all about. No matter what, it's what's in it for me.
So that's a good thing to think about. That's a good thing to think about with every video that I create, to really focus in on exactly what is the takeaway. That will help the production as well. That's good. Thank you.
And to go after what Margaret said is that where your ideal client is on LinkedIn, or would it be more effective to use like Instagram TV, or like, so especially with the visual, I mean, so who are you going for? And then also what are their, maybe just have each video, like Margaret said, and even Laura, short, but focused on one topic with a question, like, are you struggling to get, your exercise in every day? Are you meeting your goals, or whatever it is? Very, hyper focused, and then see, and maybe not every video is for the same place.
Right. It's good.
Rob, Laura asked in the chat box, are you leveraging groups and LinkedIn groups?
I'm not leveraging LinkedIn groups yet. So I've been on LinkedIn since LinkedIn existed, but really just showed up like 4 months ago.
Okay.
Right. So I just learned how, because this is the first year that I've been more focused on business professionals and communicating with them. And honestly, it's been the best social media experience. This is where the real serious people seem to be hanging out at. So I haven't gone to groups. You want to know why, Laura? Because the first 17 videos I watched about LinkedIn, they said LinkedIn groups suck. I was like, okay, but then I heard somebody else.
And I think it's what.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's what. I think it's what you make of them, and if those groups deliver value, and I think a lot of them. I think in the early days of LinkedIn, the groups were really good, and people got a lot of value out of them. And then I think they might have turned spam after that. But I'm always a believer, especially on Facebook and LinkedIn, you kind of create a group that the fish are going to come to because they're getting something out of it. So you're kind of stocking your pond, and naming, and the name of the group I think is really important too, so that people understand the value that they're getting out of it. And then once you have that group in place and they're consuming that value from you and they trust you as a source and as a resource, then that's how you leverage that group with your video, and then getting the eyeballs on it and then getting them shared. And then I would also make sure, are your videos, are they housed like on LinkedIn or on YouTube, or are you doing these live? How are you doing these?
Actually, all of it, because I'm testing it. I go natively to LinkedIn. Went from Vimeo to test and see, because according to all the research, that uploading natively is most effective, but that hasn't been the case for me so far. So I'm really
Yeah, I would test Facebook too, honestly, because the minute you go live on Facebook and upload within their platform, your video gets a lot of legs and a lot of engagement with people that you've never connected with before. Right. So don't discount Facebook, and I know sometimes people do because of the nature of Facebook. I would give that a chance as well.
Okay, good.
Great advice. Wow, awesome. Rob, did that help you?
Absolutely, thank you.
Awesome. Hey, Rob, I forgot to ask you when you first started. Can you go in the chat box and put your first, last name, and email? Sure. That's how we take attendance. And then I email this recording to everybody who attended. So if you need to hear what Laura's advice was again or something, you'll have the replay.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Well, it is 8:51, and we got through 4 people. I think that's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. Yay, great discussions. I hope everybody got something out of it, even if you weren't on the hot seat per se. I hope that you got some value out of everything. So now we're going to move into the announcement section. So for those of you who are new to this group, what we do is we open the floor, I go around the room, and I ask if you have an announcement that you'd like to share. This is your opportunity to share maybe something you're promoting, an upcoming webinar, class, Facebook group, whatever, no limit. You're welcome to use the chat box to drop links. So if you want people to check out something, you can put the link in the chat box. This is for you to ask for referral. And if you don't have anything, that's perfectly fine as well. It's optional. So we'll go ahead and get started. And Laura, do you have any announcements for us today?
I'm trying to think. I don't have anything off the top of my head because when I go to the other Keep It Locals, I always talk about the virtual networking because people miss it. And I think it's so valuable because there's so many experts in the room, and it really helps to build their business through marketing and business techniques and things like that. So if you haven't visited the other online chapter, do that Monday noon. Eastern time.
Yeah, that's chapter 601, run by Jennifer Flynn. And I know some of you have visited there. There are chance for you to meet new different people. And Jennifer's awesome and a brilliant mind as well. So yeah, please sure to check out that. And just a reminder, that particular chapter is having an open house, and that is Monday, August 6th at noon Eastern. And there's an event page on the Keep It Local Facebook group if you need the additional details, but we're going to have prizes and raffles and incentives and all sorts of fun. So make sure that's on your calendar if you can join us. So thank you, Laura, for that. And thank you for being here on the road. Hannah, any announcements today, Hannah Broter?
No, not any announcements. I will make some when I come out of the heat.
Okay. Hope we get a fan. Poor thing. Tish, any announcements for us today?
If you or anyone you know or love has ever heard You Should Do Voiceover, my You Should Do Voiceover intensive is coming up at the beginning of September. September 8th and 9th, we do a live weekend in Los Angeles. And then at the end of September, we'll start our virtual 6-week version of the class, which you can join from anywhere. It's a comprehensive overview and a little taste of everywhere where your voice can be making money. So if you've ever had an inkling, or if people at the grocery store always tell you, oh, you have a beautiful voice, you should do voiceover. Touch base, I can do a 15-minute voiceover once-over call, a free time for us to talk about where you're at on your voiceover journey and where you'd like to be. And I'll put the website in the chat box.
And just so you know, Tish is the voice of, remind me, Subaru? What are you the voice of?
I've been the voice of Subaru for the last 7 years. I was the voice of Citibank for 7 years before that. Voice of GTA 5, if you're a gamer. Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah.
That's awesome. We're glad you're here, Tish. Thank you for putting that link in there. Rob is asking for it too. So,
wait, Tish, did you say you're the voice of GTA?
I do the gameplay videos for GTA 5. Yeah.
Did you? Very cool. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of street cred.
My sons automatically will think that's cool.
I know, my daughter too.
Yeah, my favorite story is when that came out. My son was like 11, and I heard, "Hey, Mom, is that you?" I was like, "Yes, turn that off."
Not for you. Rob, any announcements you'd like to share with us?
Sure. So the announcement is, my partner and I have launched our platform called Small Business CEO, which is essentially, it's for any entrepreneur, small business owner. It doesn't matter the stage, beginning, in the middle, or seasoned. It's essentially an ecosystem for entrepreneurs to connect with each other like we're doing, leverage referrals, expand their digital footprint, it's a directory, so where they can connect with each other and connect with the world. And we really honor and try to cultivate an organic community. This is something like this conversation right here. It's so powerful. People pay for this, by the way. They pay for this kind of stuff.
Yes,
and it's because of the value. But the value comes from the relationship building. You know, relationship capital is the most important capital on the planet. So we teach that and we cultivate that. So if you or anybody you know is interested in meeting more like-minded professionals, small business CEO may be the place to come to and take a look. We have a virtual open house, which is 10 minutes long at the top of the website, and I'll put it there. And from there, you can kind of look around and see some of the benefits. And we actually had a few things we launched in the last couple of weeks that aren't on there because, again, it's 3 months old. But the purpose is to connect people to each other and the world.
Well, that's awesome. Right in alignment with, I think, everybody here. So, Rob, thank you so much for that. That's great. Connie Jo. You didn't have to talk much today, Connie Jo, but now I'm going to put you back on the spot.
I have no announcement. Bye.
Hire Connie Jo. That's okay. That's all right. We love
Next
you.
week. Next week.
Mary Beth.
Yes. This was great, by the way. Even if it didn't get my question answered, boy, I took notes. So thank you.
Oh, good. Yay!
Question, right? I got my notes. So quick, I have 2 things coming up. I am assisting my mentor, Joan Ranquette, who's going to teach a certification for animal communication down in Virginia Beach at the ARE Center. She's fantastic. That's a great place. So if you know anybody who's like, I think I want to do this, that's a cool thing to do. The other thing I'm doing is those of us who aren't ready to be professionals, but you want to talk to your animals. I'm doing a 6-week online course, actually 7 plus a bonus, 7 weeks. And if you know anybody right now, I'd love to talk to them if they're like, I don't know which one I should do, or they both interest me. So I'd love you to just share this with people. That's what I'm asking. Is if anybody's interested, I'll share more with them. Thank you.
Thank you. And make sure that you put the links in, okay? Who is next? Debbie Keevan.
I have nothing to share. I just wanted to say thank you for today, like from the bottom of my heart, but also then to thank Laura and you, Jill, for having Laura do Instagram for really fantastic course. So I'm just going to say, if you'll follow me on Instagram, that'd be awesome. And if you'd follow Connie Jo on Instagram, I'll sell that. I'll get that out there for her.
A reluctant Instagrammer.
Great. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you for being here. Margaret, what announcements do you have?
Nothing in specific today. I'll get more information once I get my webinar all wrapped up.
Okay.
But I will say one sort of announcement is, Laura, I want to connect with you because my Instagram got hijacked and I'm trying to resolve that.
Laura can definitely help. All right, very good. Me, I'm always welcoming people into the Celestial Circle, thecelestialcircle.com. I've expanded the circle to include other benefits, including a second Q&A call every month. So now it's 2.5 hours of calls between 2 different calls, 90 minutes and 60 minutes. And then I'm also opening up all of the modules from the Celestial Marketing Academy into the Celestial Circle. So that's 23 modules there, plus 5 from a challenge. So over 30 modules available in the archive for you to go in just for being in the Celestial Circle. So if you're interested, I will put the link in there, but it's thecelestialcircle.com. Come join us. We have so much fun. And I'll make you laugh, I promise. Judy Cain, go ahead.
Yeah, real quick, just wanted to remind people that I look for relationships with coaches because I don't do behaviors, I don't do accountability, I don't do knowledge transfer. All I do is change beliefs and send them back to their coaches for where the real knowledge and work goes.
Yes. Awesome, Judy. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here today and contributing, asking questions, answering. It's been a great mastermind, and I hope everybody can come back next Friday. And I don't have a speaker lined up. I'm sorry, but I will get one. Margaret, would you like to speak? Would you? Not putting you on the pressure or anything.
Nothing, no pressure at all. What would you want me to speak on? Anything I want?
Anything you want, anything you'd like to help us with. I'll send you an email.
Okay.
All right. So maybe Margaret will be our speaker. If that's how you get a speaker, you just call on people.
All right.
So
Thanks.
good. And I would love to hear that. That'd be great. I'll send you an email today. We'll get that coordinated. So there you go. That's it from Virtual Networkers. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Debbie, get walking. And I'm sending love to you all. Mwah. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye. Thanks,
Bye.
Liz.